This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Are you guys able to see my desktop?
Yes, Rahul.
Yes.
Yes, Rahul.
All right. We'll make a start. Okay. So yesterday we were here. Yeah. So we created API, and then we saw how to generate a jar file. We saw how to create the API doc for that, and then like we discussed how to create the object of the WebDriver, and then we just over here at this stage. Yeah, and we also saw like as soon as we create the object of the WebDriver, that object is responsible to launch the browser for us. Yeah, so if it is Chrome, it will gonna launch a Chrome and so on and so forth. Yeah, that is what the responsibility of the object when we create. If you are looking at, so like when I'm running this program, yeah, so there are two ways. Like you can right click over here and then you can say run as, and then you can go for the Java application. Second thing, over here you can see a run button directly, so you can like directly click and then you can just go ahead, so it will start running your program. Yeah, so the two ways to run it, you can do in that way. And of course, like shortcut keys, you can use Windows keys, but this is pretty straightforward over here. You know? So it's doing that. So probably it will launch something. It should launch the browser for us. So just wait for some time. It's saying Chrome was started successfully. You can see a browser has been launched and it error out. Yeah, so it is here only. So that's there. So the browser is been launched. Yeah, and but like unfortunately we got some error over here. Yeah, some error has been at this stage. Yeah, so we'll see what this error is all about, and then like we'll discuss about this thing. Yeah, so that is the second part. The very first thing, like you can see that we created the object of Chrome driver. Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. In the same way, if you go over here in calculator, this program. So over here also we created the object like calculator, calc is equals to new calculator. Yeah. So if I go and if I commented this line, in fact this is also, let me comment, and if I run this program, now what is the output? Mm-hmm. Any guess?
It will just allocate the memory
Mm-hmm.
for the object created.
Mm-hmm. What else?
And the functions will not be called.
Right. So it will do that only thing. What it will gonna do? It will just create the object of this class and leave it as is, because there is no operation to perform, isn't it? We are just creating the object of this class and that's it. It will just create the object, allocate the memory to that particular object, and that's it. There is nothing. If you are looking closely, so what we are doing here, calculator calc is equal to new calculator. All right. And what we did over here, Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. So both object creation are same, isn't it? Both object creation are same. Then why this is launching the Chrome browser and this is not doing anything? It's just allocating memory. Here also the memory allocation has been given to this particular object and is been assigned to this variable. Here also, right? The memory allocation has been allocated to this particular object and is been assigned to this particular variable. Then why it is launching the browser and why this is doing nothing? There is something like something is different. Both are operating the different. Both are performing the different operation, but the syntax, if you looked at, is the same. This is also a class, this is also a class. We create object here as well and here as well. So what is the difference? Why is it so?
Maybe
Now
this Chrome driver class is in the predefined package. Maybe they have written the code to launch the browser as soon as the memories uh, object is created.
Good. That is the perfect case. Yeah. So
Okay.
let's go into the deep. Yeah, let's go into this. Let's understand it in a technical way how it is. Yeah. So we are here. Yeah. So let's go and understand why it is so. Let me go into the API documentation and let's dig it out. What went, what is, why this is happening. Yeah. So if I go to API document and if I just go to the frame, and if I just see where is the Chrome driver class, probably in C, this is what my Chrome driver class. If I'm looking at this, I can see something over here called as a constructor summary. I can see the constructor. Create a new Chrome driver using the default server configuration. What Chrome drivers will gonna do? Create a new Chrome driver instance, right? So what it is doing, it is creating the instance of a Chrome driver. Yeah, it is going to create a Chrome driver instance with the specific operation. And then if we are going to get our um, the document which we created, our API document which we created, this is what the API document which we created yesterday. Yeah, it's opening in Safari. All right, and this is what our calculator class. If you are looking at, there is nothing has been defined in the constructor. We do have the calculator as a default constructor, right? But there is nothing has been defined. Yeah, so that is what it is happening, right? So as soon as we created the object of the class, the very first thing which is run out of the class is the constructor, right? So we have two type of constructor, the default constructor and the augmented constructor. All right, so this is something over here as a default constructor. Yeah, as there is nothing has been defined, this is the default constructor. So if I create the constructor and define something in it, then only it will be run, else it won't. Yeah, so as soon as we create the object, if we looked at over here, so we created the object, and as soon as we created the object of this particular class, what it's going to do is it will going to launch the browser for us, because that code has been designed in that way. Let's see in practical. Yeah, let's see in practical. If I come over here in the calculator class, and if I just write something over here, um,
This is not happening that having that open and closed parenthesis. So it's throwing
mhm,
error, Rahul.
just give me a minute.
That calculator.
Yeah, that was there. All right, so just there. I was looking out for the, there is one direct option as well. So I was looking out for that direct option to create the converter. So like constructor, we have
Uh-huh.
that new feature, so that where we can directly create the constructor. So I was looking out for that. Anyways, like you can just find it out over here how to create. So we have the option, but yeah, this is the best way. You should know it. So constructor always having the same name as that of the class name. Yeah, so the class name calculator and the new constructor should have the same name, right? Now this is what my constructor. So what I can do is I'll say system.out.println, and I'll just say I am in the constructor, right? I'll just say over here, and then I'll say that's it. 2 line of code, right? So I did that. So now like the same operation, yeah. Let's run it. Let's run it, and let's see. See, are you able to get something now? This is what the power of the constructor. Yeah, you can look at. So this 2 line of code has been executed, right? I am in the constructor and then the good morning, isn't it? So if you double click on this particular console, it will minimize and maximize. That is what how it is. This is called as the default constructor. So now as soon as I create the object of this class, so very first thing which is run out of this is the constructor is the one which is run very first before running anything. Now if I enable this method, so it will execute everything in one go. So that is what how it is. That is what the default constructor is all about. And the same thing is been mentioned in the WebDriver, right? So they wrote the code, right? They have designed this constructor in such a way that, and like as soon as the object has been created, it should launch the browser. The browser launching code is resides under here when they design the Chrome driver class, isn't it? So that is what the constructor is all about. Yeah. So you have two type of the constructor. One is the default. This is what the default constructor, and then second we have is the argumented. Yeah. Second we have is the argumented constructor.
Rahul, sorry,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
one clarification. So that calculator you created outside the main.
Right. Main method.
Okay.
It's outside the main method. So main method has nothing to do with it. So like the concept is as soon as you create the object, so it will gonna very first execute this thing, and then it will execute. So main method is gonna execute. So what main method is doing? Main method is creating the object of this class. But as soon as the object is created, so the constructor will be executed first. The pointer will go over here. So it will execute the constructor, and then it will come over here on this particular methods. So one by one, it will start executing the rest of the things. That is what the pointer is moving. The process is going at the back end. So you do not need to define the constructor inside the main method. Java won't allow you. No, that is not the syntax. So like as soon as you created the class, so constructor just resides below that. This is a default constructor. And then we have the augmented constructor. We can like mention the parameters some over here if we need anything. So like so that is what like see now what is the augmented constructor. Like I can do something like this. Um, yeah, this is what the augmented constructor. Now if I go over here, it will show me an error. See, it's showing me an error. Now why it is showing me an error? Because it is expecting me to give some string as an argument to it. You can say add argument to match the calculator, right? So previously that was the default constructor. No argument has been given over here. So it was happy with that. It didn't ask for any argument to me. Now what it is doing is, now as soon as I define some like the argument over here, so it is asking me for the um, like the string variable. So I can like type anything over here. So that is what something it is asking for the string argument. So I specify the name over here, and now if I run it, see, isn't it? That is something what it is happening. All right. So this is what the constructor is, you know. So that is what it is. So this is what is happening over here. Yeah, are you able to relate it now? Right. So we have two type of constructor: default and the augmented constructor. We can use this as per our business requirement. All right. So we'll see it in the upcoming sessions how to leverage this concept. All right. So over here, what is happening? So
Rahul, sorry
see,
to
like,
stop you.
yeah, go ahead,
From
please.
yeah, where we will use the constructor in
In real life, right?
yeah in real life.
So this is what the real life example, isn't it? This is what the real life example. So as soon as we create the object, is launching the Chrome driver in the same way, right? So what we're gonna do is, like, when we are creating the framework, so we'll design constructor in our particular class where it should launch the Chrome driver. When I'm saying launch the Chrome driver, like, we do not need to create the object every time, right? To create the object, it will be defined inside this. Now this particular statement, I'm gonna go ahead and define inside this. So now as soon as I create the object of the calculator, it will launch the Chrome driver. Or as soon as I create the object of this particular some XYZ class, right? So it is going to launch the Chrome driver. I don't need to write this statement again and again and again and again, isn't it? It will be defined only once in the default um, constructor, right? So that is what is going to happen in real life. We'll see it. We'll see it. Yeah, we'll see it down the line how it is going to be defined. Yeah, how it can be leveraged. All right. So that's there. So today's agenda, just understand what is the concept. So we have the constructor and it has two types, right? The augmented and the default constructor. So whenever we define anything inside the constructor, so it will execute by default, right? By default, as in as soon as we create the object of that particular class, right? So that object is responsible to execute the constructor. In the other way, the object is responsible to launch the browser as soon as the very first thing which is run out of that class is the constructor, isn't it? So that is what it is. All right. So that is what happening at the backend. So when I'm creating the object of this class, is running the constructor and launching the browser. All right. Now the next thing, why it is now showing some error, right? So, like, if I'm running, there is some error is going on. Yeah. So this is the challenge. This is bug in the current version with the Chrome. As long as you have the Chrome 111 version, so that is something is happening as at the moment. So probably this will gonna fix in the next release, right? So when we will be having the next release. So as of now, we have the Chrome. This is 4.811 jar of the Selenium server. Probably this will fix soon because this is the big issue at the moment. So it will fix in the next release 4.8.2 or something 1 point something. They will come up with something. This is the bug has been raised around it. So actually what is happening over here, so it's launching the browser, but there is no socket connection is happening, so it's not able to interact with that browser. Yeah, so if you can see over here, yeah, so this is what it is, web socket. It's not able to interact with that particular browser, so it's not able to communicate with that. So it's launching, but it's not able to, because of that socket connection is not happening. Some fishy is going on. Yeah, this is the bug has been raised. But yes, like, as I mentioned, we always have some workaround. So yes, we at the moment find out the workaround and we can go with that. Else we need to downgrade the Selenium version and then we can go ahead. Yeah. So if you are looking at over here, just this is also again a default browser. All right. So if I go over here and if I check my Chrome version, So it's 111 at the moment. Yeah, so latest update is what? The 111 version. Yeah, the version 111. So like for this particular version, the Selenium is, encountered the issue. It's not supporting somehow, so its the WebSocket is not connecting. Same happening with the Firefox as well. So the issue is going on. Only it is running smoothly for the Edge browser. Yeah, so that is what it is happening at the moment. So how to do it, like how to deal it? Either you can just downgrade your Chrome, or you can downgrade your jar file. You can get something, the older version of the jar. Either ways, like you can do that. So we have 4.8.1, so you can get the downgrade version. But if you want to go continue with this particular version, so just Google it out. Yeah, so what error we got? So we got this something, WebSocket, I believe I copied it. Yeah, so unable to establish a WebSocket. So this is what it is. So just Google it out, and then you will get the resolution of it. Yeah. So my intention is to showcase. Yeah, yesterday I digged it out because I was trying it, and then I found it. Yeah, something fishy is there. All right. So very first thing, like what we got as soon as I Google it out, so we got this answer: unable to establish the WebSocket connection. That is what is happening in the Java language. And if you looked at, we have over here is a stackoverflow.com. So just bookmark this link, guys. Stackoverflow.com. It is an a hub for us to get the answers, to get the support. Yeah, stackoverflow.com. You just need to bookmark this link. Yeah, so like as we are working on the Selenium, this is what the one-stop solution for us to get answer of each and everything. So what this stack overflow .com, you just need to sign up with just your email ID and create your credentials, and just go ahead with it. Yeah, you search anything, whatever question you have, you search anything, 99.99% chances you will get the answer of your question. So before asking question, just search for it, you will get it. Yeah, and you will get n number of answer for your questions, isn't it? So this is a huge community, is been managed by like people, you and me kind of things. So you will be posting your question, and if I know the answer, I'll be giving the answer. Yeah, for that. So real time professionals are dealing with this particular platform. Yeah, so if I post any question and if you know the answer, so you will gonna answer, not this particular organization, not this Stack Overflow answering your question. Yeah, so who's answering the question, who is really work on that, and who has already gone through that particular problem is answering that question. So that's what that answer is 100% authenticate and really is working, isn't it? So that's what this is a hub, Stack Overflow. Yeah, just bookmark it, just create your credentials, sign up with your initial, and then go ahead with it. So before posting your question, just search it out. You will definitely get the answer of your question. Till the time I never get chance to post any question in this forum. It's been a 10 years, but I never get chance to post my question. I always, if I search it, I got it answered till the day. That is what the big, huge community is all about, isn't it? The Stack Overflow. All right. So just go over here. Don't go in different URLs. There are a number of answers been given. Yeah, you can see. So like this is, yeah, they are supporting some answers, but this is very basic. But this is something which is a real official platform. We can say that authenticate platform, isn't it? So that's there. Just search for your answer. See, the same error is being posted over here. Yeah, we are getting the same error, WebSocket error. Yeah, this is what the establishing is trying to do. That it's not happening somehow. So like just scroll it down and say what is happening. So this is the answer has been started. The second answer, this is this one. So someone has answered, right? So let's see, two answers is mentioned, right? Uh, Two answers. So this is what the first answer, and then like again here is what the second answer. You can see it's been mentioned something over here. So the two answer has been given. So let me go ahead, and then it has provided some the link over here, the discussion about this Google Doc. So let me go ahead and open this, what this is, what is real. So this is what the open source. Yeah, so this is what the challenge, right? Whenever you get some the problem, you need to get into that problem. What is that? You need to dig by yourself. You do not get any support. But if it would have been a the paid version, you can just call their customer care and say, hey, this is what I'm facing with, so they will help you out. So that is not happening over here because it's an open source, right? Freely available. So when something is free, you will have some pain as well, isn't it? So that is what how it is. So like so Chrome 11 version, and then just if you just read it out, so the same error message has been posted, right? You can see the same error message has been posted. Some web socket error is there, unable to establish the WebSocket connection, and this is what the error message is. And like if you just scroll down, so probably someone has answered this question. See, the answer has been actually I have figured it out after enabling this WebOS login and the Chrome driver. So this guy has find it out, right? So what you need to do is, so you just need to copy this snippet. So he's saying like I figured it out, right? After doing this thing, I'm able to do it. So you can see that successfully connected. Yeah. So I added this particular thing to the Chrome driver option and it's been successfully connected. All right. So that's fine. So like this guy has given some solution. So let me go ahead, add this, snippet over here and let's see what it is doing for me. All right. So Chrome options. So like see again coming from our Selenium classes. So I'll just open it, and now what I need to do is I need to pass this option as an argument, right? So that's there. Now why it is not showing the error though it is an augmented constructor? So again over here, let me explain it in this way again. Yeah. So we can do it in this way as well. See guys, what we are discussing right now, this will gonna ask you in interviews. This will be your interview question. Yeah. So you better need to be concentrated. Yeah. So this is what your default constructor, and this is what your augmented constructor. You will be asked about constructor like anything. So be focused. We are discussing very crucial topic. This is what the constructor. See, calculator. Now this is what my default constructor is all about, and this is what my augmented constructor is all about. So I can define both constructor. This is what your interview question. Can I define both constructor? Yes. The answer is yes. I can define both constructor, augmented and default one. And then how it behaves in this way. If you mention, if you pass the parameter, it will accept. If you don't pass the argument, then it will accept. Now what is happening when this object will be created? It will execute the default constructor. When this object will be created, it will execute the augmented constructor. It is that simple. Yeah, it is that much simple. So it is pretty straightforward. Yeah. So you can see that this is what my augmented constructor. Now what it's gonna do is it will execute my augmented constructor. Yeah, as soon as the object is created. And like if I'm running this one, so it will gonna go ahead and execute the default constructor. Let's have the practical.
But to call the two different constructors, we need two different objects created, Rahul.
Actually, actually, right? So see, I created this object and run it. So I ran it. So the default has been the called. So based on your business requirement, if I want to pass some parameter, then I can call this one. If I don't want, all right, I don't want. Right? If I say good morning to you, like just as a gesture, I can do this thing. If I don't want, that's again fine. So it's again like my cup of tea, how I want. So based on the business requirement. So like not mine. So based on the business requirement, how it is, right? So if it's I'm saying run as now, so it will gonna go ahead and call the. Let's see what it's gonna do. See, now it didn't call the default constructor, right? What it did now, it is called as the augmented one. Yeah, augmented constructor. The same thing is happening over here. So previously it was calling the default constructor. Now what it's gonna do is it will gonna call the augmented constructor by passing these values.
But the
See,
tops is an object, right? We
yeah,
are
this is the
creating
object.
for
Yes,
an option.
this is the object. That's true. This is
Okay,
the
so we
object
are
again.
passing the object itself as an value.
Reference. Yes. We are passing this object reference. This can be anything again, yeah. XYZ, PQR, whatever you want. It can be anything. So Chrome Diagram options, PQR like options. We generally use the same one to understand. This is Chrome driver. So we create an object of this class, and then what we did, we passed some arguments called as remote allow origin is equals to star. So it will gonna allow all the remote origins. It is not gonna block any socket and all those things, right? So like the security thread, what we did, we open to entire world now, isn't it? So that is what something which is do, which we should not. But yes, this is what we do, what we did now to get in connected with your Chrome browser. And then we are saying, okay, use this settings, and then just go ahead and launch the browser, right? That is what we did. So let's see now. Chrome was started successfully. All right. See, now we do not have any error. It's saying the starting Chrome, this version, and it's been started successfully. That is what how it is. We do not have any error now. It's been started, and that is what the program we wrote. So it is gonna stay over here only. After that, we did not mention anything what to do, right? So it launched the browser and stay there only. The execution is stopped. I mean the ended. So these three one statement only, right? We not ask him to do what to next. The next step is not mentioned, so it will stay over there only. If I just go down and if I say driver dot quit and I'll just save it. Now let me close it manually. And if I run it now, it will launch and then close the Chrome driver. See, it's been launched and it's been terminated. Yeah, it's been closed because we asked him to quit the instance of the driver. Yeah, as soon as the instance has been launched and it's been stored into this particular variable, so we are saying, yeah, I'm done with my execution. Now I want to close my Chrome driver. Just quit it. Yeah, so it is gonna quit my Chrome driver, the instance of the Chrome driver. That is what it is happening over here. Are you following me? Are you getting it? Or any question? Or do you have any question, guys?
Rahul, one question. So suppose the constructor, we can have constructor defined as a default as well as an ar- argumented.
Argumented.
Yeah, but similarly, if we try to define functions with the same methodology, that we have two functions with the same name, one is argumented and one is doesn't pass on any argumented, is it allowed? And or will it throw any kind of error? Is the same rule applies for the functions as well?
Exactly. Yes. Is applied. So we can create as long as functions we want with the same name, right? With the same parameter, but their data type. Do you mean the data type? This is what the data type is: string, integer, float, yeah, boolean.
Yeah, yeah.
This is what the data type.
I mean, we can create functions with the same name as well, right? Within a class.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
We can
Okay.
create the same functions with the same name as long as many as you want, and that is what it is called as method overloading. Yeah, that concept is called as method overloading, and that comes under the polymorphism. That is the oops concept. It is possible, yes, it is possible, and we will be dealing with that like anything. That
Okay.
is a lifeline. We have to deal with it. Yeah, so that is what they call as the method overloading. So
Okay.
it's too early to go into that, but yes, yeah, that is possible. It's a oops concept. That's the oops concept. and comes under the polymorphism. That's there. All right. So
Rahul,
yeah.
sorry.
Hmm.
I think Palla's question is like whether we can create that addition, subtraction, those methods like multiple times with the different arguments. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That
Okay, Palla.
yes.
Okay.
If you're
And that
asking in that
result that
sense, yes.
is called.
You can write like same thing again. So again, yeah. Let me demonstrate over here only. You can type a number of argument over here as you want. See, the name is same, addition is same. Yeah.
Mm,
And over here you can write integer c is equals to integer. Probably we need to get some new variable. I will say add, and I can say a plus b plus c plus d, and then I can print the d. Oh, sorry. Add.
right. Okay.
Yeah, this is what you are looking out for. So this is what it is, how it is. So you can create n number of the same method. So this is again like this is what the method
Method.
overloading. This is called as a method overloading. This comes under the polymorphism concept. Now what is happening? So if I go over here, so if I pass two variables, it is going to accept, it is going to execute that one. And when I'm passing four variables, it will going to execute that particular method. But it won't accept more than that. See, now it's showing error. You can see the red mark. It's accepting four variables. What if I write three variables? See, it's accepting. No, this is again the four variable. So
It actually has
mhm,
four variables.
yes, that was. Now if I'm writing three variables, it's showing an error. It's expecting me to enter the four variable because it's my argumented constructor with the four variables. So I have to pass the four variable. I cannot pass the 3, or I cannot pass the 5 as well. So 4 has been mentioned, it needs 4. So if you don't want anything, just mention 0, isn't it?
Mm.
If you don't have anything, but you need to be past that variable. If you don't have anything, you need to pass 0. Yeah. So now that is what it is. So now if I run it, so look, this will be called and then this will be called. That is what it is. Yeah. So in real life, this is what is happening is. All right. So this is what how it is. Like when you have two number, it will add. So when you have five number, it will again add. So this is what the n number of method is being written over there in the calculator, real time device calculator, isn't it? That is what it is there. Yeah. So again, like so so we can add a thousands variable as well. Yeah. So will it be possible for me to create the method with a thousand variable? I'll end up with creating this function for an entire 1 month then, like adding two number, three number, four number, five number, six number, seven number, isn't it? We can add it, no? So that is not possible. It is not feasible. I mean, like, for that we need to have some hack. Yeah? So we need to design it in a smart way. So we cannot go ahead in this way only, right? Creating one, two, three, four, five, six variable. No, not at all. So we need to design this function in such a way that it should accept one variable, two variable, or thousand or 2,000 variable. That is something we need to design it smartly. Yeah, that comes later. Yeah, but today just understand this is what the concept of method overloading, and yes, it is possible. All right, that's there. All right, so just by coming over here, yeah, so we launch the browser and then we quit the browser. Does that answer your question? I mean, I missed some time to answer. Yeah, ask.
Yes, Rahul.
Actually,
Yep.
in the launch browser that Rahul initially, apart from that connection error, that socket
Mm-hmm.
error, there was some
Mm-hmm.
IO error also shown on the initial, in the console. Yeah, could you please rerun that without that ops passing that?
Input I put
Yeah,
error
input
probably.
output
IO
exception was there.
exception. IO exceptions probably.
Yeah,
So that's what it is. Yeah. So it's sending input but not able to get the output from the response from that. So that is what it is. IO exceptions. Yeah. Let me
yeah.
maximize it. So this is what it is you are mentioning, yeah? Java IO
Yes.
exception error. So that's what it is. So it's saying Java is not able to understand it. It's sending some input but not getting the output. So IO exceptions. So invalid status code. It has sent some status code like this is what the status code has been given by the Java for that particular error, right? Where there is IO exceptions, right? So that is what come from the Java language. So it's not able to understand the IO exception. And like, what is the thread? Like in main exception thread in the main method. Yeah. So this is what the main method exception. So whatever we are doing, like we are playing with the main method. Yeah. So that is what no, we need to check it out. So OpenQA ORG is the error from the Selenium. Now, whenever you are seeing org OpenQA Selenium, that means is something wrong with the Selenium jar file. So over here is saying unable to establish the connection WebSocket, and this is what the entire error is all about. Yeah, just get it, and then connection failed exception. You can see that connection failed exception,
Yeah, yeah.
and this is again your important interview question, guys. Just note it down. You will be asked so many times in the interview, what are the different type of exception you face in real time? And people are literally fail to answer this question. I'm literally not understand why. You are facing n number of exceptions, right? There are thousands of exceptions you are facing with, and people are failing to answer the five questions, like five exceptions they are not able to put in the interview. You just need to say, yeah, I face this challenge. Just note it down, this exception, right? Connection failed exception, when it will come, like as soon as there is no something wrong with the connection. That's it. To answer this question. Connection failed exception, just make a note. Whenever you are getting such answer, just note down this exception which you got and make a note of it. You solve this exception. This is again the important interview question. If you fail to answer, you are done. You are done for the day. It's very simple interview question, but 70% guys are failed to answer this question. I don't know. That's there.
So, Rahul, though we have the IO exception, but we have to check the error on the exception in the thread main to find out what is the error message,
Right,
because it
right.
has the two different exception here, right? So we have considered only the connection failed exception.
That's true.
So
Because
which means
that is
we
because
have,
like because of the connection is not happening, we got the IO exception. Are you getting me? So why we got the
yeah, yeah.
IO exception? So because of the connection is not happened. That's what, like, sending some input but not getting the output, not getting the response. So that's what we got IO exception. The main reason is this. Is in the main thread, right? So main thread. This is what the challenge is all about. We got it over here. All right.
Rahul,
So mhm.
there is a 403 code is there, means forbidden.
Yeah.
So we don't have the access for the particular 403 code is there.
Yeah, yeah. So this is what the code, like they have been mentioned over there 403. So probably like we so what your question is actually, I'm not able to understand.
The code is regarding the we don't have the access particular website like 403, 503, 501.
Particular website. So we are not accessing any website here. Are we accessing? No, we are not. So like
Status
that is
code.
something internal. That is something internal, right? So the code, error code, and all these things, we don't need to get into that. So that is something internal, right? So Java has been given this code. So maybe some fishy XYZ over there. So that's there, right? But the main challenge, like what exceptions? So we are dealing only with the exceptions. We need to take care of the exceptions. That's the only thing, yeah. So there are n number of things. Like if we are looked at, so there are n number of errors over here, but we are not looking at all the things. You can see, so the one function fails, it will fail the thousand of the function internally. So we don't need to look into the all the functions. So we need to look into the what went wrong in the main, probably. Yeah. So then that will be solve our problem, isn't it? So that's there. Yeah. So just focus on this thing. All right. All right. So that's there. So like it will gonna solve this thing. So that's there. But like if you go for the edge driver, edge driver driver one is sorry. or I'll say something like this: driver age.
Rahul, it will show the
Mhm.
option, right? The moment when you write, start writing H driver, isn't it? How to find that?
So you're saying like this, yeah, age, control and space bar.
Okay.
If you press like try type in it 2 3, the character control and space, you will get this. You can see. So you
Okay.
get something age driver. So you'll get this age driver. You just
Mm,
select it,
okay.
and then that's there. So this is what the age driver is. So if I just comment it out this thing and just launch the age driver, so it will gonna go ahead and launch the age driver. Probably I need to make change over here as well if I want to quit that one. So this driver.quit, this is the statement to close our browser. Yeah. So what I can do, I'll just add some thread over here. Thread dot sleep of 3 seconds or 5 seconds. So this is what the internal method of the Java. So thread dot sleep, right? So it will gonna halt my execution for that particular seconds. This is what's a milliseconds. We need to specify in the milliseconds. So when I'm saying thread dot sleep of 5,000 milliseconds, so it will gonna halt my execution for the 5 second, and then perform the execute the next statement like over here, right? And then what we need to do is, so as soon as I add this thread dot sleep over here, so it will gonna give some error message. I need to add this throws declaration. So at the moment, just add the throws declaration. We're gonna discuss what is this throws and what is this surrounded by try and catch block. Yeah, so we'll discuss this later on. So at the moment, just add this throws declaration, isn't it? So that is there. Yeah. So if I run it now, so it will gonna launch. Probably it should launch the age, and then it will wait for the 5 minute. Oh, sorry, 5 seconds, and then it will gonna quit that age. The instance of the age driver. See, let's launch the age, and it's quit. Yeah. So like I'm having the age 110 over here. It's dealing with the 110 age. Probably I guess I have age 11111 as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have 111 age. Yeah. So that's there. It's saying like launch the this one age version triple 110. So this is working like over here. That's fine. That's that. There's no problem. Yeah. So this is working for the age, but for if I go for the Firefox, is again you know uh, challenge for me. Firefox driver, and then I can say the Firefox is equals to something new. uh, Firefox. Just need to mouse over and then import the Firefox. So again, like there is challenge. We are not able to make the connection. That is something is happening for the Firefox as well. So the same reason, either you need to downgrade or the version or um, the the Selenium jar. So this is what something the bug has been raised, right? So is in discussion, right? This could now start this new session of the Chrome. So that is what it is happening at the moment. Yeah. So the bug has been raised for this. If you just Google it out, so you'll be get that reason. But obviously, like the like there will be some work around. So you have the entire week to dig it out. So I want you, and this is going to be assignment for you, right? And like again the Stack Overflow. So just go over here and then you will be able to get it, or Git Overflow, the github.com. Some the message has been given over here as well. So you can see a new issue has been raised, the bug has been raised for this particular stuff, and it's going on. Yeah. So the thing is going on, right? So over here some missing pass, so like you can check it out how it is, what it is. So this is going to be assignment for you, so you need to bang your head and get it fixed for you. Yeah, and let me know as well how you did it, right? So you have the platform now. So Stack Overflow is where you will be able to get answers, right? Over here, or like you can see on the github.com. So we saw this bug. Yeah, so now like you need to bang your head over here and then get it resolved for you, isn't it? And let me know as well how you did it. All right, so that's going to be assignment for you. Yeah, so I'm not going to provide you a solution for the Firefox. All right, so that's your job to do it. Yeah, so we'll move forward with this page and then the Chrome. All right, so you got an idea of what constructor is all about, and then like how it is, how we are dealing with it. Yeah, so how to create what is the argumented constructor and what is the default constructor. Yeah, so that's there. Yeah, so yeah, so let's go ahead with the Chrome, as we have Edge as well. So let me take out the Edge at the moment and then I'll keep it over here, so we'll discuss Edge later. Firefox, again I'll just take it out. Let me for your reference, but I don't need it. So I'll go with the Chrome. And believe me, so almost all guys are working on the Chrome only. So Chrome is the something which is, the fastest browser. So like, so for our what is that? For our the testing purpose or the practice purpose, we're gonna deal with the Chrome only because it's the fastest one and easy to understand, right? Not easy like, I mean, we can understand in any others, but yeah, it's fast. So that's what like we are going to deal with on the Chrome. So that's there. So yeah, we are happy over here. So it's gonna go ahead and launch the Chrome for me. And now what is the next thing? Yeah, I'll show you something more over here. Yeah, so I launched the Chrome, and then what is the next thing is driver dot, I need to launch the URL. Now, how do I launch the URL? So now you are able to understand, right? When I'm saying dot and when I'm getting this all the methods, now you are able to relate, right, from where it is coming. You do not have any question or like, or where are this coming from, and like how do I know what method is doing what, how do I understand, right? Now where are you going to go ahead and find all this stuff? In your,
Predefined package.
yes, in your API documents. Yeah, so in API documents, go for the Chrome driver class, and there you will be able to find it out the definition of all and each, right, the methods which is over here, isn't it? So it will be pretty straightforward. You can see the gate string and you will be habitual of it. So believe me, like literally you don't need to get into the API document. Very often you need to go and visit the API document, but like you will be habitual of using all these things right down the line. It's been a very kind instance, like when we have some critical business requirement, at that time we need to find out the different functions for that. But anyways, we have this forum, just ask question and then you'll get the answer, isn't it? Before digging out the API doc as well. Yeah, so that's there. So either ways, yeah, just dig out the API doc or ask the question or search for your answer over there. Yeah. So driver.get, and then it's asking you to specify the URL. See now, it's asking me the URL. So what it is doing, it's asking me some uh, value, right? So I'll go ahead and give some HTTPS colon something like this. All right, and that's it. And let me run it. See, it it launched the browser, navigated to biometautomation.com, and after 5 seconds it will gonna quit my browser. It will gonna quit the instance of the Chrome driver. Did we enable it or not?
Rahul, I think you commented the quit statement.
I guess I commented. Yeah, so this has been commented. Yeah, driver.quit. Yeah, that is also, that's what it is, not quitting that. Yeah, so driver.quit. Yeah, because I want to show you something more. All right, so it will be not remain open as is because there is nothing operation, no operation we defined to perform after launching the browser. Now what is happening? So this is very important to understand. Yeah? So if I go over here, I want to show you task manager. So this is very important to understand, guys. Yeah, so task manager. What is happening at the backend? I'm looking at Chrome driver.exe. See, see, and looked at the consumption, memory consumption. For each instance of the Chrome driver, it's consuming zero point 0.2 MB of mine memory, my CPU memory. Are you able to? Are you following me? See over here. Over here is consuming 1 MB. And it's still running, yeah. Though I the close it. So why it is happening? This is what it is happening. It's launched and I close it manually. So as soon as I close it manually, it close for user, but at the backend it's still running, and it will gonna consume my memory. What it gonna do? It will gonna slow down my system performance, and at the at the some age, it may land up something hanging to the computer and like goes like anything. It will gonna the process is still running at the backend, right? So what I need to do is I need to end this task. So what is the solution for this? So will I be doing this thing every time? So the point I want to make it out over here. So never ever miss to write this statement in your program. As soon as you write driver dot Chrome driver, as soon as you created the object, the very next statement you will write driver dot quit and ship that statement at the end of your program. Then you start writing the code, right? As soon as you created the object, the next statement driver dot quit and move that down and then start writing your program to avoid this thing. Else you will be end up with what is happening with my system, why it is not working. You will banging your head like anything and you won't be able to understand. You say, yeah, I quit, I close the browser, but why it is not? See how many instances are open at the backend, because yesterday I was fixing that Chrome driver issue. So many instances are open at the backend and it's consuming my the laptop memory, isn't it? So that is what it is happening. So we don't want it. Yeah, so be make attention over here. Yeah, so else you will be end up with those slow performance of your options, your laptop, desktop, or workstation, whatever you're using. So that's there. So what we did now, so this is what the complete statement. Yeah, so we launched the Chrome, we navigated to some xyz URL, and then we wait for 5 seconds, and then at the end it will gonna close my WebDriver instance, Chrome driver instance. So that is there. So any question, guys, over here?
Rahul, if we use a close method, then
Driver.close. All right, that is again a simple interview question. What is the difference between driver.close and driver.quit? Yeah, that is the interview question again. Yeah, so over here, if I go and if I see driver dot, we do have this method as well, close, right? So driver dot close and driver dot quit. So these are the two methods available, right? So in order to close and quit, so what is difference between these two? It will gonna close my current active window, and this will gonna do kill my instance. Now you might have got the difference between these two things, right? So doesn't matter how many sessions are open, it will gonna kill the instance of the driver. Whereas driver dot close will gonna close the current active window. What does it mean? It means this. This is what my current active window. I'm gonna close it, and this is what driver dot kill, driver dot quit. Yeah. So it is going to kill the entire session. That is what the driver dot quit is all about. And driver dot close, it is going to close my current active window. Yeah, or we can say that the tab, something like that, tab or window. That is what the difference is. This is again simple interview question. Again, if you fail to answer, I mean, so don't expect anything over there. Yeah, simple interview question. But yes, it's been asked so many times. Driver dot close, driver dot quit. Always go for driver dot quit. Don't go for driver dot close. Huh? Always go for driver dot quit to kill the session and save your memory. Always go for driver dot quit. Right? Yeah. So any question, guys? Moving to next topic. All right. No worries. So we'll go for a short break of 5 minutes. You need it, or you want me to continue?
Yes, Rahul, 5 minutes break.
All right, yeah. So just go for 5 minute break, and then it's 6:04. So we'll come under 6:10. Yeah, I mean, sorry, yeah. At IST timing, just 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, just go ahead and get it.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, go ahead, Pullo.
Yeah, so Rahul, when you created the package, we had this naming convention com.xyz that project name dot module name, and then we have the functionality name over here. And you are getting the functionality name diversified, like if we have two packages, uh, it's been diversified like
Right,
this
right.
functionality to and for my Eclipse version, I didn't got it in this
So
way.
you might be saying it in a straight way.
Yes.
Okay. So like over here, you can see this small icon, some down arrow key, just beside this project. So this is a view menu.
Okay.
You just need to click it, and then package presentation. So
Yeah,
right in
I got
packet
it.
presentation, it might be if for you, it might be the flat. Just change it to hierarchical. So it will
Okay,
come
got
like
it.
in this way. Yeah, it might be the flat has been selected at your end. You just need to select the hierarchical. So it will go in this way. So always have in this way. So it's easy to understand. Yeah, someone is
Yeah,
using
yeah.
flat as well. So go with this thing. Yeah. So it's over here. Yeah. Yeah. So this is very small icon. Literally, you may not be able to find it. But yeah, that's there.
Okay.
What are you back?
Yeah, yes, Rahul.
All right, yeah, yeah. Just notify when you came now. All right, so we are here. Yeah, so we launched the browser and then we navigated to URL. So what next, right? So if you notice, like when we are launching the browser, so the window is like the is this the small one, yeah. So it's not like the big one, right? So I mean, not big one and small one. What does that mean? So if I just launch it, so you can see just look at. What does that mean? Yeah, it's starting the Chrome. see the size of the window. Yeah, so it's small, isn't it? It's not in the maximize mode. So I need to click over here and then it will be maximized, isn't it? So if I click, the open the new browser, so that is coming in this way, right? So what we need to do is, so for that, we have one standard method over here. So I'll go ahead and say driver dot manage uh, dot uh, windows dot maximize. Now, so this statement will gonna maximize your window. Yeah, so again these are different classes. Yeah, so manage is the class, window is the class, and from that we got this method called as maximize. You can see the void method. So this is what the class, windows is a class. Again, this manage is a class. Yeah, so that is what it is. So it's different. Yeah, so it's option. So that is what it is, the statement is driver dot manage dot windows that maximize. So you'll be able to maximize the window. Yeah. So if you looked at the API document, so you'll be able to get this flow in that way only. Yeah. So from this manage, you will navigate to the Windows class, and from that Windows, you will find out this the methods into it. Yeah, so that is there. So the flow is again that there. It's not like always directly you'll be able to get the methods, no. So it resides under, because this is manage class, we have n number of things to manage. So if I go over here, I say driver dot, and then if I say manage, so what I'm doing, I'm managing the driver. And what I'm doing, I have n number of things to do with. I can add cookies, I can delete cookies, I can do n number of things over here. Get cookies name, get cookies. Yeah, so like there are a number of things I can also wait. And over here again I have the windows. Yeah, so over here windows, I'm going to manage, I'm going to manage the window. All right, so what are the operation I need to perform on the window, right? So this is what all the operations I can do, the maximize, minimize, isn't it? So that is there, we have, right? So I can go ahead and do this, right? So it's coming from the Windows class, just looked at. So we need to get the method, those are the coming from the Windows class, not from the object, because we are under the, we are looking at the methods from the Windows class. So be now careful over here, isn't it? So get the methods which is coming from the Windows class, not from the object class. Yeah, so there's there. Yeah, so maximize,
Rahul,
minimize, you can. Mhm.
what's the difference between those two?
Which one?
Window and the object? And
Object is a
why?
super class. Yeah,
Sorry?
object. Yeah, object is a super class, which is the internal class of the Selenium. That's the super class. Yeah. So like if you want to get it, so you'll be able to get that. But generally we are using the methods, those are from the uh, same class as we are dealing with the Windows, I mean the class over here. So we are getting that. So if you are able to get it, so those will also work, there is no problem. So by default that is there, it's gonna apply, right? So you are free to use that as well, this method as well. Those are coming from the super class by default. You are getting that methods over there. Yeah, so if you want to leverage those, yes you can, you are free to do that. You can use those method as well. But as like if we are dealing with the specific methods, maximize, minimize, so we can go ahead and use from the Windows class, that's there. But yes, if you want to get it from the super class, you can get it. So by default those are there, to string, you can see the wait this particular time, wait this particular time. So this method is not designed inside this particular Windows class, that is coming from the super class, isn't it? Which is the object. Yeah, so that's there. Are you getting it? So maximize, we want to maximize the window, so I chose maximize, so that's there, right? So now it will maximize my window. And be specific, every statement should be end with the semicolon. Yeah, so if you are not entering semicolon, Selenium won't be able to understand whether the statement is ended or not. Yeah, so you need to end end each and every statement with the semicolon, make a practice. Yeah, so that's there when we are writing. So it will gonna launch the browser now, and it will gonna maximize it and stay for 5 seconds over there, and then it will gonna quit that particular instance of the WebDriver. See, it maximized, and now it will gonna quit it. Yeah, so that's there. We can do in this way as well. We first maximize it, and then we'll navigate to some URL. Yeah, so we'll first launch this. We're gonna launch my browser. This is gonna maximize my browser, and then we're gonna hit some URL over there. Yeah, that's there. So this is what the maximize statement, and then set or sleep just to wait for some seconds, 5 seconds, and then we are gonna quit the browser. All right. So that's it. Now I got, look, over here. I till this point I'm okay. I came over here. I the navigated to XYZ URL. All right. So what if? So I'm dealing with the Chrome at the moment. So what if I want to perform the same operation on the Edge, right? So this is a simple line of code. Yeah. So what I'm doing is launching the browser, maximizing it, navigating to URL, and then quitting the browser. That's what I'm doing over here. All right. So what if I want to perform the same thing on the Edge? How do I do it? Again, I will doing the same thing, right? I need to launch the Edge browser because this is what my test case is. I did this operation. I'm just checking like whether this URL is able to access on the Chrome, whether I'm able to access on the Safari, where I am able to access it on the Firefox, Edge, Opera, so on and so forth. That is what the task has been given, or that has been the test case, right? To check the compatibility of this particular website on different browser. And how do I do it? So again, I'll do the same thing then. Yeah. So I'll just copy this thing, paste it over here. I'll add some thread. It will wait for 2 seconds to launch the Edge. So for you, you type by your own. Don't copy paste anything. Yeah. So I'm doing it just to save some time, right? Like for our time, I'm just copy pasting, but for you, just type by your own word by word, isn't it? Don't copy paste. Even don't ever copy paste this statement. Yeah. Don't think like एक बार मैंने लिख दिया तो I'll be use it again and again. No, don't do that. Every time type it by your own. Yeah. Then only you will be habitual of it, isn't it? Then only you will be memorize it. Yeah. Don't ever do that copy pasting. Never ever. Yeah. So I'm doing it just to save some time. Yeah. For our time. That's it. All right. So that's that. So what it's gonna do is it will launch the
Rahul,
Chrome navigate. Mhm.
under Edge driver, the object to be changed, right?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that. This should be changed. Yeah, this should be changed. Yeah, thanks for that. All right.
Yes,
So
it
over
will
here,
actually.
yeah, it
Once
will end up
again,
with
it
the
will
error.
open the Chrome browser, isn't it?
Um,
It
no,
won't
I mean this.
because
It,
once it is open and closed, so it will throw some error.
yeah, it will go through error. So we'll see if you want it. Yeah, so you can see the error as well. Let's go with this thing.
Okay.
All right. So this will launch the Chrome and then wait for some time and then quit. And then over here, it will gonna launch the Edge and then it will error out over here at this particular statement, line number 29. As it probably may not be able to understand what this driver is stands for, because what we are doing, we are killing the session over here. The instance has been killed at this particular line number 25. So then at this moment, it won't be able to understand what this driver stands for. Yeah, that is something we are expecting it to do for us. Let's run it and let's see. So it's launched the Chrome, maximize, navigate to URL, and it quit it as expected. All right. So we are at line number 27 now. It waited for some time. Open the Edge. You can see over here. Microsoft Edge is being controlled by automated test software, isn't it? And see, it error out. Now it's won't able to understand what this statement is all about. This driver is all about because it's been killed over here. It's not able to understand what this line number 29 is, and we got some error over here. And if you looked at over here, this statement, see, the statement itself giving us a suggestion at line number 29. I find something which is this thing. The session ID is null using WebDriver after calling the quit function. You already quit it and you are trying to call that function. See, exception. No such session exception found. Today we discussed two exceptions, and this is what the error in my main program at line number 29. What is the problem? What is the problem at line number 29? This is what the problem at line number 29. What is my, if I click on here, so it will redirect you to your program and saying here is some, I'm finding some problem over here while executing this particular statement, isn't it? It is that much user friendly. Just understand the error. Don't ever say अरे यार error आ गया अब क्या करूं मैं. No. Just understand it, read it thoroughly, line by line. Understand it. You will get the answer in that particular error as well, error itself, isn't it? In this exception as well. Yeah. So just line number 29. All right. So what it is saying, line number 29, session ID is null using WebDriver after calling quit. That's there. I call already quit and then I'm using the WebDriver, which is something wrong. It's not able to understand what this thing is about. What this WebDriver is. The session ID is null now. That is there. So it is self-explanatory. So you just need to understand how to read the error, right? How to read the error. That is something which is very important to understand. All right. So you will be able to get the line number as well in this particular, see the package name, the class name, and then the method. In which method you are getting the error. Main method I'm getting the error at line number 29. That's there. Yeah. So just focus on that. All right. So what we need to do is the quick fix. We just need to change the reference of the driver. That's it. Again, let me close this manually because once it is quit, so it won't do it again. So I close it manually, and if I run it, so this time it will execute it properly. So the Chrome has been launched. Let's maximize the window, navigate to Biomet Automation, your website, and then it will gonna wait for some time over here, and then it will gonna quit it. All right, quit. Now we are at 27, now 28. So it will launch the Edge, maximize, again do the same operation. It's gonna wait for some time as per the time we given, and then it will gonna quit that. And that's it. We are done. So what we did just now, we verified or checked the compatibility of our website on these two particular browser, whether it is launching or not. We just did that. We just executed one test case. All right, we did that. But is this the way to do it? Is it really required to write this much line of code, 35 lines of code to do this operation? What if I'm just checking the one website? What if I want to perform n number of operations on this particular website? What if I want to fill some form on this particular website? So today it's just like one line of code over here. So what if this program is of 50 line of code? Let's assume this is a 50 line of code, and I want to execute that on the Chrome, that on the Firefox, that on the Safari, that on the Opera, so on and so forth, then I'll be end up with copy pasting the same statement over and over in the same class. Is that the way to do it? No, it will never be. So what we are doing over here, we are just changing this line. That's it. We are just saying just launch the edge and then perform the same operation and quit the edge. To Firefox, just launch the Firefox, perform the operation, rest all statement will be same. See, this statement is always same. What is changing? Driver and driver reference is changing only. Rest everything is same, right? If it would have been 1,000 line of code, it will be very difficult for me to manage or copy paste the same line of code again and again, and it will never. That falls under the category of code reusability or code optimization, not reusability. I can say that code optimization, right? Your code needs to be crisp, right? Chota, optimize. That is what the smartness you need to have in your code. In minimum line of code, how you can do the maximum work, right? That is what your talent comes into picture. I can do this thing, right? This is what the baby steps. This is something like the baby steps. If you write this code, so like I can easily understand where you are, right? If I look at your code, so like that's what is happening. So if you go in an organization, your team lead will never ask you the different question. He will give you some program to write, and by looking at your coding skill, he or she will be able to understand in which level you are. He will never ask you any question, right? When you're onboarded on some XYZ project, by looking at your code, he or she will be able to understand. Okay, I need to assign this work to this particular guy and not this one. So that is something how it is in real life, isn't it? So we used to do it, yeah. So Pallav and Purnima might know this stuff. That is there, yeah. So like be smart, yeah. So like this code, our code needs to be in a proper way, isn't it? But then how do we do it? So what we are doing, we are repeating the same line of code again and again. And what we can make use of, yeah, so we have the statement which is provided by the Java language, right? And what is that? If and else, isn't it? You know it very well, right? If is a Chrome driver, then perform this, else go for the Edge driver. Simple, isn't it? I can do that only. Yeah, perform this operation. Then how do I do it? So I'll keep this code as it over here, and then I can write the same code with the help of if and else statement. Yeah, just keep me down. I'll add some separator over here. So you'll be learning Java on the fly. Yeah, there is no separate session for the Java, right? This is what now. This is what the Java concept. Now what we learned till the time, this is what the Selenium, pure Selenium. Now this is comes under the Java. This particular is comes under the Java category, right? So this is what we are doing. So on the fly we'll be learning so that you will never forget it. Now you got the understanding of right why we need to use the if and else statement. So normally अगर समझा था तो like you said okay that's what it is, but now you understood it real right, really how I can do it. All right, so what do I do it? So how to write the if else statement? If some condition, right? I need to specify some condition, and if that condition is true, then it will the control will go jump inside this bracket and it will perform some operation, else it will perform some different operation. That is very pretty straightforward and simple. I know the statement, and right, everywhere it is. It is. So I will specify some condition over here. Okay, what if what my browser dot. So what I need to do is I need to get some variable. So what I can do, I'll just define some variable over here. I'll say or probably over here before the main class, I'll just say, sorry, and let's take care my browser is Chrome at the moment. So what I did, I just defined one string called as browser, a variable I defined called as browser, and I mentioned like I want to perform the operation on the Chrome. All right, no problem. So what I'm doing in my program now, so I'm writing some statement. Now it's now if browser is equal ignore case, so there are two options, equals and by the way, this this string is again a class in the Selenium or in the Java, not Selenium. See, string long is coming from the Java. Yeah, so string is a class in Java. Yeah, so like then like as we know, right, when we have the class, so what I just did, I just created the reference variable for that, and then I'm saying the Chrome. Yeah, so I'm assigning some value for some value to it. Yeah, so now when I'm saying that variable, so I do not need to create the object of it. Yeah, it's directly understood by its internal mechanism, right, provided by the Java. So I can say the browser dot, and then what I can do, I'll just go ahead and use this equal. I can use is coming from the, or I can use the equal ignore case. So what is the difference between equal and equal ignore case? So so equal ignore case, I can write something like this, or I can write something like this. Still it will gonna work. Yeah, so I can mention simply like this same wording, or I can write whatever I want over here, right? So this is only possible when I'm writing equal ignore case. Yeah, and when I'm writing equal, that means I need to have the exact same value as I have mentioned over here. So that is what the difference between equal ignore case and the equals. So I'll always go for the equal ignore case, because we are not sure what user is gonna enter, right? So user may enter small capital letters or small letter or a typo, there might be something. So what we just need to use, always be in the safe zone, use equals ignore case. So it is not a case sensitive now. Yeah, so you can write small capital and so on and so forth likewise. So now if my browser is equal ignore case Chrome, then what I need to do is I need to launch my Chrome browser. That's it. I'll just get this thing, I'll add it over here. Yeah, I need to
Rahul,
launch the Chrome browser.
sorry, one quick question. So this
Mhm.
browser is a variable. Uh, uh, is it a browser is a variable or it is a method again under string class?
So it's a variable. So like what we created over here is a variable now.
Okay.
So okay, let me create some different class. Probably you may confuse over here. So we will save this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and create the new one. All right, so let's move over here. so it will be easy to understand. All right, so now what I'm doing over here, so yeah, so now I'm launching the, so if my browser is equals to Chrome, and then probably over here I do not need this as well, I'll just take it out from here. And one more thing, right? So if you can see over here some orange line coming besides this, that means in this particular class this is not useful. It's just standing like as idle over here. Is not in use. When you are seeing this orange line or any of these things, that means it's of no use in this particular class. So what you can do is either you can remove it manually or just Control Shift O, so it will remove all the unwanted things from your program. In the same way, if you want to import something, same Control Shift O, so it will gonna again enter the Control plus Shift plus plus O. Yeah, so either to remove or either to add, this is what the key combination you need to use. Yeah, but don't do anything at the moment at your laptop. Just sit back, stay, watch what is going on. Yeah, so you need to have the entire week to do practice it on, right? So just pay your attention over here, right? So all right, so that's there. So we are launching the browser. All right, so Chrome driver, so the Chrome driver has been launched, the instance of Chrome driver has been launched. All right, else what I want is I want to get this Edge driver. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the same variable over here. And after that, what I'm going to do is, this is what the same statement I want to use. Just give me a minute, guys. I'll just do it in a correct way. Now, so that's there, right? If my browser, this is a variable over here. Now, so this is a variable, and for this variable, we assign the value which is Chrome, right? String variable. So we assign value as a Chrome. So what I'm saying, if my browser is equal ignore case Chrome, then I need to launch the instance of the Chrome driver. Else, go ahead and launch the instance of the Edge driver. Yeah, and then I'm saying driver.manage. I'm maximizing the window and navigating to this, and I'm doing quitting this particular uh, driver instance of the driver. But what is happening over here, if you looked at, is showing an error message. Somehow it's not able to understand what this driver is all about. Can anyone, this is logical, can anyone give me the answer of this question? Why is it so? It's logical. It's just look at the program and you will get the answer. It is that simple. All right, just look at what is happening over here. From line number 16 to line number 22. Yeah, this is the scope of if and else statement. So it started from here, is ended over here. All right, and what we did, we defined this object, this particular variable inside this if and else statement. And what is happening? So as soon as I close this statement, the scope of this variable is ended over here. That's what this is not able to understand, what this driver is all about. This line is not able to understand where this driver is coming from. If I do this thing, oh man. Okay, so why this line number 11? I declared it at the top. This is what the concept of global variable. I define this variable globally, class level variable. You can see this class. This is what my class level variable. I can access it anywhere inside this class from this statement to this statement, closing statement of my class. From this to this, closing statement, this, line number 33. The scope of this variable, the browser variable, the global variable, is start from this line to line number 33 across this particular, the window. I can use it anywhere. But the scope of this driver variable is from this if statement to this line. So this is what the local variable. Again, this is what your important interview question. What is the difference between global variable and the local variable? Make a note of it. Now, this is what your local variable and the global variable. Or what is the significance of the local and the global variable? Interview can be any like, just understand the psychology, right? What he want or she wants to the one from that interview. Understand the concept. Global variable, local variable, isn't it? The scope of this variable is limited for this particular if and else statement. That's what is not able to understand. Now, how do I do it then? I need to define this over here then. Okay, so how do I do it? Can I write something like this? Okay, I'll write in this way. So it's not able to understand now this. So if I write, can I write in this way? So this is something problem, like that's what we need to get the augmented constructor. All right, so let me get this edge driver. So I can write the edge driver then, yeah, over there. Okay, let me write. So leave it the Chrome. I'll write the edge driver. And now over here, I do not need to mention because the driver is being specified over here. And let me make it as a public static. So just don't think of what these keywords at the moment. So we're gonna have an entire session on this, what this is all about. Yeah, just focus on this at the moment, right? So now it's able to understand. See, now it's able to understand because it's been globally declared over here. Now the declaration is global. But now if you run the program and when my option is Chrome, so it will gonna go ahead and launch this Chrome. But again, over here it won't be able to understand. It's saying, I'm not able to understand, right? If I go ahead and write something like this, see, it's showing me an error. Change type of driver to Chrome driver, because this driver, this variable, is the instance of the edge driver now, and I cannot assign to the the instance of the edge with the Chrome driver object. I cannot do that. I cannot do that because this variable has already been assigned for the edge driver, the instance of the edge. I cannot do that. This is wrong. Java won't accept this. Either what it is saying is giving me suggestion. Let me do this. So either I need to change this as a Chrome. So if I change this as a Chrome, then edge is giving error now. Oh man, what to do? So edge is not happy now. How to solve this problem now? And what if I have some more browser, Firefox, Safari, Opera? How do I do it? How do I deal with this thing? Then I will be getting error for the all 6-7 browsers over here. How to deal with this thing? That's what we have the interface called as WebDriver. So what is the WebDriver? WebDriver is an interface. This is again most important interview question. Very simple. अगर ये नहीं आया तो वो भगा देगा इंटरव्यू आपको. What is the WebDriver? Like it's like ABCD. If you know, I mean, wow. So I asked this question to guys, what is a WebDriver? Simple question. Someone is giving me answer like it. वो सब बता देता है ये क्या है, what is this and all about, but he is not able to answer this question. I was literally looking for this thing. He or she will say the interface, and then this very first question, what is WebDriver? He or she will gonna explain me all this, the things. I'm saying okay, we are done. Thank you. That's it. That's it. Because you do not know the ABCD. This is something which is literally, I mean, no excuse. Yeah. So WebDriver. So what is a WebDriver? WebDriver is an interface. So what is the interface? Why we need interface? What it is? We'll dig it out down the line. Is we're gonna design our own interface. It's altogether a huge long story. So we'll discuss it later. But today, just understand why, why we need this WebDriver. I show you the problem statement. First, we discuss the problem statement. Now, if you looked at, see, my Chrome is happy, my age is happy, and so on and so forth. If I have again anything over here, if I say else if statement over here, sorry, if I just go ahead with else if, I can write n number of statement. Yeah, else if I have age, to go with age, else if I have Firefox, then just create the object of the Firefox. I can write so on and so forth n number of time I want. Else at the end, I'll write something, a default, whatever I want. Yeah, default browser. Like if the browser, if nothing has been mentioned, so what I need to do is, then I'll just say go ahead and launch the Edge browser. So on and so forth. I can write for Opera, like the other browsers as well. Else if statement. And at the end, you must have the else. If nothing has been specified, this is something which is the default action. You should have a default action. Sorry, the FAULT, default action, right? So if else statement, if user didn't specify anything, then this is what my default action. Default age will be launched. But if I'm giving option, like if you go for the age, I mean, that is what the option we are giving. By default, the age will be launched. But if you want to specify, if you want to Chrome, go ahead with that. If you want to Firefox, go ahead with that. So this is user friendly now. My program is user friendly now. And see, this line of code will be as is. I don't need to touch this line. Now, based on the user input, if I'm saying Chrome, it will launch the Chrome, navigate the code, perform the operation, and quit. If I'm saying Firefox, it will perform operation on the Firefox, quit. Age, it will on the age, by default, age, isn't it? So I do not need to mention, but sometimes it's good. Like the user may specify, may not specify. This is user's choice, not ours. It's business requirements. Yeah. So we need to deal as per the business, isn't it? So this is what a default action, and this is what it is. Now this line of code can be anything. As of now, we just wrote 5 lines. It can be 5,000 lines. All right. And by just applying this logic, I save to repeat my 5,000 of line of code again and again, over and over. Isn't it? This is what how it is, and it is user friendly. Like user can specify a browser. It's user choice. If you want to specify, it's okay. If don't, by default the operation will perform on the edge driver. That is what how it is, and that is what we have this interface in the Selenium. See, I has been written over here. That means it shows the interface. Yeah. So if you are not sure about what it is, just mouse over on that particular, right, and you will be able to see it. The showing is I, that is interface. If I'm going over here, string. See, a class has been written over there. C has been written in the green color. If I go over here, Chrome driver, see, a C has been written over there. It's a class, isn't it? If I go over here on Windows, again, some abstraction is being written over here, right? So you will be able to understand this thing. Yeah. So if you are not sure what it is, just mouse over and then it will show you, right, what it is and how it, right, the what it is for, isn't it? So Chrome option, again, see, this is the class, isn't it? So it itself give you a suggestion what it is, right? Is the options class. So that's it. Like I'm set now. So if I run it, so probably it should launch the Chrome and then navigate on that particular and perform the operation on the Chrome. So let's see what it's gonna do for us. See, the Chrome has been launched. Navigate to URL. It's going to wait for some time. You can see the message over here. Chrome is being controlled by automated test software, isn't it? And then it quit the browser. Yeah, that's there. That's there. If I say age, right? The use of this ignore equal ignore case. See, I specified in capital letter over here. Yeah, that's there. Just save the program and run it. Probably this time it will navigate to the age, and it should navigate to age. See, the age has been launched. And after some time, it will quit the browser. Are you following me, guys? Yeah, that's there. So now this has been done one time. Now I can write n number of line of code based on my functionality, based on my business requirement, isn't it? That's there. All right. So this statement and this statement will be written only once, and this is going to be changed. This is again a one time because we are launching the URL, and over here in this between, right, our actions. What is the action I want to perform, right? What are the different operation I want to perform on that particular website? That code resides between this particular blue section you are seeing at your desktop at the moment, isn't it? That is what how it is, right? So any question, guys, over here?
So to execute the
Suppose
else,
I
yeah, go ahead, Dar.
suppose I want to launch two browsers. How can I perform?
That's what we did, isn't it? So we can you like at the moment at one go you won't be able to launch the two browser. For that we need to get the help of the parallel execution. Yeah, so that is altogether different story. But over here you will be get it one by one. So first Chrome will be launched, or first Firefox will be launched, or Chrome Edge will be launched based on the this logic you will be specifying. First Chrome will be launched, perform the operation there. Then Edge will be launched, perform the operation there, and like so on and so forth. You can do in that way. In that way you can do it. You can pass the multiple parameters. So again, like that is something which you need to handle in your program, the code, how to do it, right? That is something which you can, that is called as the iteration, right? Same test case you want to execute on multiple browsers, right? So what I need to do is, so this code will be remain the same. What is changing? Only this value is changing, right? Now we need to write some logic to change this value in runtime. First, in first iteration, it will take the Chrome, then execution will be on the Chrome. In second iteration, it will take the Edge, the execution will be on the Edge. Third iteration, it will take the Firefox and the execution will be on the Firefox. So on and so forth. right? So what we need to do is we need to change this value dynamically, runtime. So yes, we'll be looking into it, and that is will be the down the line. So we need to get this value from the Excel file. We need to read this value from the Excel file because this is for the user input, and the user input will be never be hard coded. It will never be in the program. So just for the understanding, we are writing it over here, but you will never get the user input in the program, right? It will be coming as a variable over here, and where user is going to provide the input, maybe in Excel file or any config file or any some different XYZ file which is publicly open. Yeah, so user is saying, okay, Chrome and all this browser I want to execute. So we need to read value from there, get it over here, and execute our program based on the input provided by the user. That's it. So we'll see that how to perform this operation in iterations. Yeah, so that comes under that particular category, iterations. All right, that's that. Does that help you?
Yes.
All right, yeah, good. Yeah, Purnima.
So we have the last option as else, right, Rahul? So can we pass it as like blank?
Yeah, we can do that. That's what it is there. So if nothing has been specified, is this there? No value has been specified. So user may give it or may not give it, right? So by default, it will launch this. What is that? Age. It should launch the age. Now over here, nothing has been specified. Let's see what it's gonna do for us. Let's see. Or it error out. Let's see.
Do we have to give that equal and its double quotes, Rahul, or we can just leave public static string browser semicolon?
Hmm. Okay, we'll see that as well. Let's see first. Yeah. So it's working. All right. So like we just pass nothing over there. All right, so it's happy. Okay, the second thing is, do we really need to pass this value? Let me take this out and just say browser over here and save the program, and let me run it now, and let's see what it's going to do for us. Exception in the thread main, null pointer exception. You can again note it down. We got the null pointer exception.
So the string should have a at least defined with a null value at least. Is that right?
See, here is the catch. Null means nothing. Is nothing. In that variable, we have nothing. Air, right? Air, kind of air. No, nothing over there. But as soon as we pass something, we just say equals to, and then this over here, we have some value assigned to that particular value, which is a blank over here.
Hmm.
Right now we assign some value to that particular browser variable, which is blank at the moment, and we can write whatever we want over here, isn't it? So when we are specifying this is, that means we are just assigned a blank value. We can write whatever we want, and then now if I run it, it will be gonna launch. What it gonna launch now? If I run it,
Edge.
absolutely, it will launch age. Why so?
Maybe if we have, yeah, it will go to the else last option. If we have written some line like whether it is a else of default action or like the browser option, then it will be easy.
No, I didn't get you.
No, no, inside the else loop, like if we write one of the statement as like it's executing the default action, it will be
Right,
easy
right.
to understand whether it is going with the else if option or like it is going with the else option. Just I am
Exactly.
telling.
Actually, yes. That's what we always, use a default action. That is a smart coding. So if I'm not having else statement over here, the default action over here, so I am bound. So user is now bound to provide some value, and that should be the meaningful. He has only three options. He or she will have only three options: either specify Chrome, Firefox, or Safari. What is like Chrome, Firefox, or the
Edge.
edge over here. He is bound now. He has to
Mm.
specify that three value. Then only my program will execute. Else it will error out. So don't ever do that. Always have the default action. so that it will execute at least. Your program will never ever error out. It will execute, but on the edge. Then he understand. Oh no, I don't want it on the edge. I want it on Chrome. So let's specify the Chrome. So then that user will specify the Chrome, and then that execution will perform on the Chrome browser. Likewise, this is the way you should handle. So always have some default action. Else it will error out, and then we end up with the right. So it's not a good thing. Yeah. So that's there. So now over here, right, it will gonna launch the edge driver, because this condition will fail, this condition will fail, and this will also fail, right? It's not a Chrome, it's not a Edge, it's not a Firefox, like तीनों भी नहीं है, then do it on the else, right? So over here it is not going to check what this has been written over here. It will just simply launch the Edge and perform the operation. That is what how it is. But yes, we need to have some value assigned, else it will gonna throw us a null pointer exception, because we didn't assign anything to it. It's a null value and it won't handle it, right? So when we are getting a null point, we are not able to handle the Java is not able to handle the null point exception. and and believe me guys, you will be end up with getting this null pointer exception like anything. Yeah. So yeah, that's there. So that is what the meaning of the null pointer exception. Yeah. So I just want to demonstrate you what is null pointer exception. So when you as soon as you got, see, the age has been launched, isn't it? So as soon as you get the null pointer exception, so understand like oh, nothing has been assigned to this particular variable, isn't it? So I need to check the variable. That is what the significance of the null pointer exception. Again, maybe asked in the interview. Yeah, what is null pointer exception, isn't it? So you got the answer, right? What is null pointer exception, isn't it? So nothing. Null means nothing. Air. Yeah. Don't say air as well, because air has its presence. You can feel it. So it's like nothing. I mean, I cannot give you the example, but it's nothing. Yeah. So it's a blank. Well, I cannot say the blank as well. So this is what the blank is, nothing, right? It's nothing. This is what the understanding. So if I'm specifying nothing, so this is what the null pointer exception now. If I'm having something that this is having some value now, some ASCII value now, right? So in terms of the computer language, as soon as I write equals to and some double quote, now it has been assigned some ASCII value to this particular variable. Are you getting me now? If I'm removing this, that means nothing has been assigned, no ASCII value. So if I'm saying equals to, and if I'm writing some double quote, it's been like this means some ASCII value or something has been assigned to this particular variable now, isn't it? In terms of the computer language, isn't it? That is there. All right. So that is what the difference between the null pointer exception and then some actual value, dummy value. You can say that. All right. So that's it for from my end today. So if you have any question, please go ahead. All right, no worries. So soon I'll be upload this recording on our channel. So just practice it on. I hope you wrote down all the questions in your notebook, diary, whatever you are doing is. Please make a note, and this interview question is gonna help you, right? I'm doing this only, right? At the end of the day, at the end of the session, right, our training program, you will be come up with the booklet where you have the interview question for each and every section, right? So just make a note, create a diary, day wise. You can write the interview questions, what was there. You just need to sit back and just need to write down the interview questions and pay the attention on the session. So you have entire week to practice it on, and don't ever copy paste. Type each line by your own, then only you'll be able to understand what it is and how it is. All right. So with that note, we'll wind up today's session, and then we'll see you in the next week. All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks, Rahul.
Yeah, thank you.